Hi, and welcome to this new OSINT challenge brought to us by Sofia Santos. And this one was tough. As usual, if you want to take on the challenge, please pause the video now and I will include a link in the description. Let's get to it. The image below shows the content of a zip file. Inside you will find a 31-second video recording during a train ride and 4 photos of undisclosed locations. They were all taken by the same individual in February 2024. Despite having no useful metadata, they still contain enough information to track down this person's movements. Your task is to determine at which train stations did the person board and alight. We also have some bonus questions, which we'll get to later. So I thought the way to go was to uncover each picture's location, and I randomly decided to start with this image. More on that later. We are in a sort of an alley. There is paved ground, it's winter, there is snow, it's been raining, we have some kind of historical architecture, and we have some kind of a Ferris wheel in the background. And right away, if we zoom in like that, we can read Halva Art Cafe Shop. So I did search for Halva Art Cafe Shop on Google. And here's what I found. And there's an address, and there are some pictures. And it definitely looks like the one we have on our picture with the Ferris wheel right here. So this one was pretty easy to solve. And where are we? We are in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. I'm choosing to go a bit faster on the first images since they are more straightforward. Because I don't want this video to be too long and I want to go deeper on the more challenging photo and video. So let's get to the second one right now, which I choose to be that one. And so I did perform a Google image reverse search on that one. And among the results were this one, where clearly it looked like the exact same scene. So I just click on this website. Let's get to it, and this is the exact same location. We have everything. We have the shape of the roof. We have the commercial signs right here. We have little shops on the right here. We have this tall building that is far away, which we can find, and this structure in the back right here in our pictures, and in this one too. So this is the same location, and there is a name in that article that I've translated to French, which is Marché Corsu, which is Corsu Market or Corsu Bazaar, which is also in Tashkent, so the same city than our first picture. So I've checked on Yandex maps because Yandex is pretty strong in these countries, and here you can find our building that we also had right here. In all honesty, as I said, I didn't take the time to look for the exact coordinates on this one, and I moved to the next picture, to this picture. So since we already were in Tashkent on the first 2 pictures, I assumed we could be in Tashkent for this one as well. So let's quickly describe the picture. What can we see? We have a several lanes road, pretty big road. We have what looks to be a bus stop, Capital Bank here. We have a metro station right here. We have a building right here with the Samsung Galaxy sign, Navian. There's an visible O on the top of this building. And there is snow, there is a little park here maybe. And one little detail that I noticed is also is right here, rent a car. I searched for Navian or Samsung Galaxy on Google in Tashkent, but I didn't find anything prominent. I choose not to dig further in that direction, and instead I went on this website. I fairly recently discovered this tool, this Bellingcat tool, and I just wanted to give it a try on an actual challenge, and so I did. It's a tool that, so as I said, has been developed by Bellingcat last year, and it allows you to search OpenStreetMap data based on objects and structures that you can identify in an image. It's really a simplified version of Overpass Turbo for those who are familiar with it. The tool comes with a bunch of preset features, but if you're looking for objects that are not on that list, you'll have to add them as custom features. So based on what I saw on that image, I chose to add two preset features: public transport stop and building 5 to 9 stories, because we can see that it's not taller than this, nor smaller. And I choose to add a custom feature, which is amenity equal car rental. So the custom features can be found on this website, the Wiki OpenStreetMap, where you can find a list of custom items that you would like to add and how to do that. So I choose to look for these features in Tashkent area, and it gave me really 3 results. Actually 2. These 2 are the same. And the first one was the right one. As we can see from the street view, we do have the Samsung Galaxy sign. We do have the O right here, which was for Vero. All right. And we have Capital Bank. So probably the picture was taken a bit further away, more around here. But yeah, this is the exact same scene. We now have geolocated this picture, this one, and this one. And we'll continue with this one. What can we see? We see a power pylon right here. We see a bridge, obviously. This is probably the first thing we actually see. And what might be a public transport stop, because there is a lot of people, or maybe a taxi stop. But yeah, probably just more public transport. A lot of people are in line. We can see a reflection on the window. This is very interesting. I'm assuming this was likely taken from a bus or maybe another transportation mean, maybe a taxi. In the back, there is what seems to be a parking. And so I did search for hours with this very same tool in Tashkent, using various custom features and presets. And I had no luck at all. And we will get back to this one later. So I had geolocated all the pictures but this one, right? I actually did map all the locations that I had geolocate using Google My Maps. And I thought I would move to the video, which might actually give me some insights about the last picture. So let's get to the video. So what can we see? We are obviously on a train, not in the middle of nowhere, but probably not in the center of the city, probably between cities. There are mountains in the background, and at some point in the video we actually saw what looks like to be 2 gas stations. That's an interesting detail. Separated by a road. So I started to look on a topographic map for places where a railway would run alongside a mountain. So here you can see the transport map where you can see the railway. All right. And the topographic map. And there are just many instances where you have a railroad running alongside a mountain. So I also looked on the OSM search tool for places with railway and 2 gas stations. I thought maybe I would have my chance like that. 2 gas stations close from one another. I had to look for that in a wide geographical area in the Tashkent region, but quite wide since I had not take the time and succeeded to narrow it down first. And honestly, I did that for hours. I think I was a bit obsessed with the idea of finding that location thanks to that new tool. So there's a valuable lesson: don't fall in love with a tool. And so yeah, I had no luck. And so I went back to my pictures and I tried to make some sense out of them, which is probably what I should have done in the first place, instead of rushing to geolocate the pictures. Second valuable lesson: context is everything. And I paid more attention to the weather. And you can see that on all pictures but one, this one, the weather is fairly gray. This is the video, but this is gray, and this is gray, and this is gray. In one picture, this one, the one that happens to be geolocated near the station, this is the station, and this is the picture. It's sunny outside. And on the train video, it's sunny outside as well. So I just decided to assume that the bad weather pictures were taken on one day and the sunny picture is taken another day along with the video. And I thought if I wanted to answer our question, which is to figure out where this train may have been headed, I needed to get some clues. In which direction is it going and what time can it be? So let's talk about the time. So on this picture, probably taken the same day as I said as the train one, we are likely either early morning or late afternoon because it appears to be a rising or a setting sun. Let's jump to Google Earth where we can check whether it's east or west. And we are right now in the street view of the Google Earth on our location. And we can see that the sun is on our picture right here. So if we move here and look at that, we can see that we are facing east. So this is early morning. Now let's look at the train video. What do we see? Well, the sun doesn't seem to be very high in the sky either. So we are after sunrise, but it's pretty still early in the morning. Now let's talk about the direction. We can see that the train is moving in the opposite direction of the sun. So if the sun is in the east, this means that the train is heading west. This is the first strong clue to find out our mysterious person's destination. Let's look at this Uzbekistan railway map. We can see that all the railroads going west are passing through the city of Jizak, right here, and the city of Samarkand, passing through or stopping at Samarkand. Because our train cannot be heading in that direction because it's not going westward. So it's obviously going that way. Now remember about those mountains? In our video, we could see pretty close mountains. Let's head back to our topographic map. We can see that from Tashkent, right here, to Jizak, here, it's pretty flat. There's no mountains. It's not a mountainous area. But from Jizak to Samarkand, we can actually find some mountains. After Samarkand as well, but let's stick to this section of the road for now. And remember that we're probably not that late in the morning, so not that far away from Tashkent. We can see that mountains are especially close to the railroad between Jizak and this city of Gaya Orol. It's probably a terrible pronunciation and apologies for that. See right here, it's mountainous and there is a railroad. Whereas right here, it's flatter. Here you have a bit of mountain. But yeah, I decided to first focus my research between Jizak and Gaya Orol. Okay. So I went back to the OSINT tool. And so you can see amenity fuel twice and railroad. And I searched for that in our area between Jizak and Gaya Orol. Okay. And I had 3 results, and you can see one of them. You can clearly see this road crossing the railroad and 2 gas stations. And of course, once I had these geographical coordinates, I went and looked on Google Earth. And there it is. We found it. There is a railroad. There is the road crossing the railroad. There is one gas station. There is the second one. If we zoom out a little bit, we can also see this road going up. That's this road. You can see this little, I don't know how to call that, which is right here. If we go back to the start of the video, we can see that this building right here is this one, and this is the administration offices. This is this building right here. Then there's nothing for a while. Then there is this building right here, up here. You can see this little road going down. This is this one. This building here is this one here. So yeah, several ways to confirm that we are indeed in the correct location. Knowing that this train was headed westward towards Samarkand, or any other destination that passes through Samarkand, I decided to revisit the picture that I failed to geolocate in the first place in Tashkent, and consider that it might have been taken in one of these cities, in Samarkand or any other cities west. So I ran an OSINT search for a bridge and a parking in Samarkand, because remember, we had that parking right here. And among the results, I saw that there was one result where you can clearly see a bridge crossing a big road. So this is this one. And when I checked on Google Maps, I figured that this is it. This is our location. You can see the parking here. You can see that it's a bit uphill here. There are some structures in the background that we can see here. And yeah, it's the same bridge, same patterns right here. And so this is it. We can now answer the main question of this challenge. At which train stations did the person board and alight? We know that this person was in Tashkent, left Tashkent from the Tashkent station. I checked. This is the North Pass station, which is located right here where trains are leaving in the morning for Samarkand. And we know that this person was in Samarkand, so this person alight in Samarkand. Tashkent, Samarkand. First question solved. And so now let's get to the bonus questions. I figured it was probably better to start with the estimate the speed at which the train was traveling when the footage was recorded question, to then answer the determine the type of train question. So I started with this one. To estimate the speed, I've used the metering function on Google Earth Pro to measure distance between 2 points that we were seeing in the video, between this point right here and that little structure we can see by the end of the video, which is 29 seconds between the 2 points. So here we go with the metering function between this point, start of the video, and this point. And it's about 1050 meters. And I did the math and figured out it was equivalent to 130 kilometers per hour. So there we go. This was probably the easiest questions of all. Next question. Determine the type of train they rode. So I've learned from several sources, like this one, that there are two types of daytime trains in Uzbekistan. And these two types of train cover the Tashkent-Samarkand route. The fast train is an Afrosiyob, and the other one is called the shark train. Of course, the faster Afrosiyob train arrives in Samarkand before the slower one, but we don't know at what time our person arrived in Samarkand. I have also checked the speed limit of these two trains, and I've learned that these two trains can actually go faster than 130 kilometers. So the train speed that we see in the video of 130 is no indication to tell us which type of train it is. Several trains departing from Tashkent in the morning and stopping at Samarkand. and incidentally the train schedule page is not available at the time I am recording this video. But anyways, just know that there is a train at 7:27, one at 7:54, and one at 8:14 or 8:15. The last two ones are the slow ones. The 7:27, the 7:54 are the fast train. Now, remember our last picture in Tashkent? We know from Sofia's post that we are sometimes in February 2024. And so I went to SunCalc and checked the sunrise time in Tashkent mid-February, and it is at 7:18. So the picture, geolocated at one metro station from the train station, was likely taken between 7 and 8 a.m., which means that the 7:27 train was likely too early for this person to catch. But the person could have taken the 7:54, the 8:14, or the 8:15. Now remember that we have geolocated our train right here near Gizak. The slower and latest 8:14 or 8:15 train arrives at Gizak at around 10:25 a.m. The faster 7:54 train does not stop at Gizak, but at Dasht Tobod at 9:05. There are about 60 kilometers between the two cities, so it must arrive around 9:30 a.m. at Gizak. In our video footage, does it look like it's more 9:30 or 10:25? It looks to me earlier than 10:25, based on the position that the sun would have at 10:30 and the level of light we can see in the footage. I would definitely lead towards it being the Afrosiab high-speed train that gets to Gizak at around 9:30 a.m. So that's my answer for that question. Next question. Calculate approximately how far did the person travel overall. So there is about 343 kilometers between Tashkent train station and Samarkand by train. If we add the distance between our different locations within Tashkent, it's 9 kilometers more, and the distance between the Samarkand train station and our last location is about 5 kilometers. So that would amount to around 357 kilometers in total. Quickly to the last question, identify the mode of transportation in each image. And this is probably the one where I was a bit more in a guesswork mode, which is not a good one, but well, this one is obviously by train. These two are pretty straightforward given the nature of the location. It's both inside something, inside a market here, inside another type of site here. So I would say by foot. And these two, well, this one is early in the morning going to the train station. The metro station is nearby, but obviously we're not in the metro, so I would have said either in a bus or a taxi. And the same right here, although the reflection on the window makes me think more of a taxi. And this is it. We've answered all the questions. Now I managed to miss one of the most obvious clues that were left, the file names. Looking at the file names, you could at least get the chronological order of the trip, which could help understanding context to solve this challenge. But anyways, I hope you liked the challenge. I really did. Overall, it was a very nice and tough challenge, and a great opportunity to get valuable lessons and to practice with some new tools and methods. As usual, don't hesitate to look at Sofia's blog and watch her or other auditors work through. Thank you for watching.